turn of the century mortality statistics consistently indicate that heart disease caused no more than 10% of all deaths. But by 1950, the coronary heart disease was the leading cause of mortality in the United States, causing more than 30% of all deaths. So from zero in 1900, now it's the #1 killer. So, and the cause is only cholesterol lowering, the eating of cooking oil. Cholesterol lowering isn't necessary. There has never been any convincing evidence that lowering the level of serum cholesterol had any causal relationship with coronary heart disease. But this hasn't stopped the cholesterol hypothesis being used as a basis for the sale of drugs to lower cholesterol. So, instead, kahit na wala naman siyang effect, pinapagamit pa ang mga tao ng cholesterol-lowering drugs. For almost half of the last 20th century, a whole range of drugs were tried, and still no evidence were produced that cholesterol-lowering, whether by the recommended diet or various older drugs such as fibrates, extends life or reduces overall mortality. So let's look at this. Statin, a new drug to lower cholesterol. Statins are now the new type of cholesterol-lowering drugs that appear to be successful and have become the drug of choice and aggressively marketed. There is no doubt that in trials there has been a reduction in the number of deaths among those taking statins compared to control groups. For the first time, cholesterol-lowering drug has shown significant improvement in mortality rates from coronary mortality, stroke mortality, and total mortality. So let's see further. Statin, a new drug to lower cholesterol. The cost is around 400 pounds per person per year. Malaki po ba yun? And had to be taken for life. Okay. This year, the drug companies can look forward to several years of very healthy profits until the patients run out. Statins increase the financial health of drug companies, but do they really increase the health of those who take them? That's a big question. Let's look at Scandinavian simvastatin survival study and the cholesterol recurrent events care study. The primary finding of both these trials was that lowering LDL cholesterol in patients at risk for cardiovascular disease, heart attack and stroke, to within the range advocated by subsequent guidelines would significantly decrease the number of deaths from coronary artery disease. Then another study, West of Scotland Coronary Prevention Study, both scopes. Air Force Texas Coronary Atherosclerosis Prevention Study, APSCAT. Both of these trials found that using a statin to lower plasma cholesterol levels produced a significant reduction in coronary events, even in subjects without clinically evident cardiovascular disease. Helsinki National Public Health Institute Cholesterol Study aimed to study the association between serum cholesterol, depression, and suicide. Subjects 29,133 men aged 50 to 69 years. Duration 5 to 8 years. Result: low serum cholesterol was associated with low mood and subsequently a heightened risk of hospital treatment due to major depressive disorder and of death from suicide. Conclusion: our results suggest that low serum cholesterol appears to be associated with low mood and thus to predict serious consequences. Okay? That's from the Journal of Psychiatry in 1999. Paris prospective study to study the association between serum cholesterol and depression and suicide. Subject 6,393 working men aged 43 to 52. Duration 17 years follow-up. Result: 32 men committed suicide during follow-up. All with low average serum cholesterol concentration, 4.78 millimole. That is below 200. Okay? That's the recommendation to lower cholesterol. Conclusion: both lower serum cholesterol concentration and declining cholesterol concentration were associated with increased risk of death from suicide in men. Okay. That is for the British Medical Journal, featured in 1996. Here is shocking. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The foundation says 300 to 400 doctors commit suicide each year. Why should doctors commit suicide? They are the ones to treat you. And they're ahead. Okay? According to Dr. Charles Reynolds, a psychiatry professor at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, the cause of the alarming suicide rates among physicians is undiagnosed and untreated depression. So they are depressed. Could this be due to the use of cholesterol-lowering drug, Lipitor? Kaya may mga Lipitor lawsuits question safety of statins. Okay. Women's Health Initiative. This study investigates whether the incidence of new-onset diabetes mellitus is associated with statin use. Subject, 161,808 postmenopausal women aged 50 to 79 years. There were result 10,242 incident cases of self-reported diabetes mellitus, over 1,4,466 persons, years of follow-up. Statin use at baseline was associated with an increased risk of diabetes mellitus. Conclusion, statin medication is associated with an increased risk for diabetes by 48%. That is from Archives of Internal Medicine, 2012. Bago lang po yan. Okay? European Health Monitoring and Promotion. Journal of Women's Health. The study investigated the effect of low cholesterol subject, 149,000 men and women aged 20 to 95 years for a 15 period, 1985 to 1999. Result, high cholesterol was predicted of death from coronary heart disease in men of all ages and in women under the age of 50. However, low cholesterol was significantly associated with increased all-cause mortality in men across the entire age range and women from the age of 50 onwards. That means more deaths on total deaths will be very, very high on low cholesterol. They say it protected heart disease, but cancer, other diseases, mas madaming namatay. Okay. Conclusion, low cholesterol showed significant association with death from cancer, liver diseases, and medical diseases. The excess death on total death, okay? WHO European Primary Prevention Trial with 205 rate. That is to lower your cholesterol, okay? So, in cause of death, coronary heart disease with low 5 rate, 157, covering 5,331 men. 5,000, okay, 296 men. Placebo, only 138 deaths. Stroke, 30 with low 5 rate. Stroke with placebo, only 19. Other cardiovascular diseases with low 5 rate, 21. With placebo, control 16. Cancer, 125 with low 5 rate, 99 with placebo. Other medical conditions, 30 with low 5 rate, and only 13. Accidents, 31 here and 30 there, unknown 2 and 2. All causes total 396 with the drugs, only 317 without the drug. No cholesterol lowering. So that means you can be saved from all these calamities by not touching your cholesterol, whether through drugs or through diet. Okay. Statins and Lipitor, the charting is don't save lives, and classification continues. Okay, so the mathematical superimposed charge of the 3.3-year Ascot Lipitor study or the 6 years deaths of the all-hot Pravachol study. Drug or no drug, total 1,650 deaths, years to death. Okay. Over 10,000 high-risk people for years on 2 typical studies, no one is safe. Another 5,000 heart patients on top dose Lipitor for 5 years suffered 2 more deaths than 5,000 patients on low dose. Okay, so the result of this that Lipitor for 4 years had 2 more deaths and no fewer events than those taking Lipitor. That is, drugs will not save you. Don't touch your cholesterol. Multiple risk factor intervention trial. To test the efficacy of a multi-factor intervention program in coronary heart disease. Subject, 12,866 men. Okay, 6,428 special intervention and 6,428 usual care or control. Method, cut cholesterol consumption by 42%. This is called Mr. Fit, multifold, okay? Saturated fat consumption by 28% and total calories by 21%. Result, blood cholesterol levels did fall, so bumaksak ang blood cholesterol, but by only a modest amount. And more importantly, coronary heart disease was unaffected. So no effect on heart attack. Conclusion, the overall results do not show a beneficial effect on coronary heart disease or total mortality from this multi-factor intervention. That's from American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 1997. We'll see again the result. Japan, lipid intervention JD, aim to test the efficacy of a multi-factor intervention program in coronary heart disease. Subject 12,866 men, and so on. Method, cut cholesterol consumption by 42%, saturated fat consumption by 28%, and total calories by 21%. Result, blood cholesterol levels did fall, but only a modest amount, and more importantly, coronary heart disease was unaffected, no effect on heart disease. The overall results do not show a beneficial effect on coronary heart disease or total mortality from this multiple factor intervention program. Next, we saw the coronary study to compare the effect of 39% fat control diet with a 38% fat premium diet and serum cholesterol levels, the incidence of myocardial infarctions, sudden death, and all-cause mortality. Subject, okay, this is the control group, total fat consumption, and this is the treatment. Here the saturated fat control is 18%, this one is 90%, okay. Polyunsaturated is very high on this group, okay. The cardiac also is very high, the control group. Treatment is only very low. Subject 4,390 institutionalized men and 4,664 institutionalized women, followed up for 4 to 5 years. So the result, primary endpoints, acute and silent MI, and sudden death. Control 121, treatment 131. So more deaths in the treatment group. Death from all causes, control, high fat, high cholesterol, 248. Okay, on the treatment group, 269. Conclusion, the dietary advice to reduce saturated fat and cholesterol intake appears to be relatively ineffective for the primary prevention of coronary heart disease and has not been shown to reduce mortality. Okay? Mas marami pang namatay sa treatment. According to Journal of Medical Association 1990, Smith and Pekanen, lowering of blood cholesterol through drugs and the revised food and diet is counterproductive. So that's the conclusion. Smith and Pekanen claim that the cholesterol lowering enterprise threatens to turn the large percentage of the healthy population into patient. Pag sinabi sa inyo yung mataas ang cholesterol nyo, pasyente na kayo. Right? At a substantial cost to the National Health Survey in Britain. Now, what about cancer? What's the effect of low cholesterol? Reports of more than 20 studies into the relation between blood cholesterol, that's in JAMA, okay, 1990, have been published since 1972. Most have reported an association between low blood cholesterol and cancer. That means if you lower your cholesterol, you get cancer. Cholesterol studies in patients who develop colon cancer conclude that it is in the long-term lowering of cholesterol levels that increases the risk of developing cancer. The average blood cholesterol level of those who develop cancer declined to 5.56 millimole. That is 215 milligrams. If your cholesterol is below 250 milligrams, you get cancer. And yet, the medical guidelines remain to reduce everyone's level to below 5.2 millimole. That is below 200. That is the guideline. And yet you get cancer at 215. So they should change already this guideline. That's from JAMA 1990. Journal of American Medical Research. In elderlies, sino ba dito ang senior citizen? Okay, ito. Kayo to ang tatamaan dito. Okay. 2 studies which considered total blood cholesterol levels and mortality in the elderly were published in the Lancet, European Journal. Scientists working at the Leiden University Medical Center found that each 1 millimole increase in total cholesterol corresponded to a 15% decrease in mortality. Ano ibig sabihin nun? If you increase by 1 millimole, your mortality will decline by 15%. Grabe ba? Hindi. 1 millimole is about 38 milligram percent. 38 milligram of cholesterol. So, if you increase that by 38 milligram, babaksak ang mortality by 15%. While the study of Dr. Harlan Krumholz at the Department of Cardiovascular Disease at Yale University revealed that persons older than 70, super senior. Sino ba mga older than 70? Taas ang kamay. Meron din pala. Meron hindi ayaw magtaas. Older than 70 with low cholesterol level died twice as often from a heart attack as did old people with a high cholesterol level. Mas madali kang ma-heart attack kung bagsak ang cholesterol. That is from JAMA 1994. Aggressive behavior and suicide. Okay? Violent behavior. Decreases in blood pressure cause decreases in serotonin receptors and affect the balance of cerebral lipid metabolism, leading to increased microviscosity which could have profound effects on brain function. In institution, ito po yung sa mga mental hospital, ito rin yung sa mga penitentiary. Aggressive people and those with antisocial personality have been found to have lower than normal blood cholesterol levels. Mental patients with high blood cholesterol, 7.55 millimole, that is 292 milligram. If your cholesterol is 292 milligram or higher, they were less regressed and withdrawn than those with lower, 4.8 millimole, 185 milligram or below. So, mas violent, nagkakagulo pag bagsak ang cholesterol. Sinasabi ko kanina. Okay? That is from Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert. Engelbert. Okay. Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, 1994. Published in the Lancet. Okay? Also in Lancet. Stroke. Ito naman, stroke. A very large study from Japan covering 2 decades, 20 years, concluded that low levels of blood cholesterol increase the incidence of stroke. But binagsak nyo ang cholesterol nyo, may stroke kayo. Also, the results of a follow-up of 350,000 men screened for the Mr. Fit study in the United States showed that the risk of death from cerebral hemorrhage in middle-aged man was 6 times greater if they had low cholesterol levels. You know, I told you, cholesterol-saturated fat prevents rupture of the blood vessel, right? Stable yan. Walang aneurysm. But if you lower the cholesterol-saturated fat, you get stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, which is fatal. In 1997, results from a study, cholesterol and mortality, 30 years of follow-up from the Framingham study were published saying that high serum cholesterol level is not related to the incidence of stroke. That is from the Circulation Journal. Okay? Ang sumulat yan si Takashi Shimamoto, FR. Nagtataka siya. Takashi. Takashi. Bakit ganun siya? Okay. Heart failure. Ito, yung heart failure, minamalas ka, hindi ka malakad, hingal ka ng hingal, nagkakatubig ng lungs. Alam niyo yan, di ba? Heart failure yan, hindi siya heart attack. Heart attack, close ang coronary mo. Ang heart failure, your heart muscle is weak. Kaya nag-i-increase ka ng pulmonary secretion, nagtutubig ng baga, lumalaki ng atay at manas. Recent 2006 research from the University of Hull in England has linked low cholesterol with higher death rates in people with heart failure. Madali kang mamatay. You need cholesterol to strengthen your heart. A study of 10,000 patients with suspected heart failure found that those with low cholesterol were 1.7 times more likely to die within 12 weeks of being hospitalized. Kung bagsak ang cholesterol mo at pagpasok mo sa hospital, lalong pinabagsak, yung 12 weeks mo, baka maging 6 weeks lang. Okay? You'll die within 12 weeks. The study was based on the Euro Heart Failure Survey, which involved how many? 115 hospitals in 24 European countries. You cannot challenge this. Okay? This published in the Lancet Journal, 1997. Shocking, right? Heart failure again. Sa Amerika naman, University of California at Los Angeles found a higher mortality in patients with severe heart failure who had the lowest lipid levels, including total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol. Right? Lower your LDL and you die of heart failure. American Journal of Cardiology, 1998. Dr. Rojas and researchers several German and British. How do you pronounce this, Mr. German? Rojas? Rockhouse. German and British University Hospital found that the risk of dying in patients with chronic heart failure was strongly and inversely associated with total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. Kita niyo ba? If you increase your LDL cholesterol and total cholesterol, your heart will strengthen. You won't die. If you lower your LDL, you die of heart failure. Baliktad? Baliktad talaga. Yan na. The risk of dying in patients with chronic heart failure was strongly and inversely associated with total cholesterol, LDL. They call it bad. And yet, if you increase your LDL, you are safe. Those with high lipid values live much longer than those with low lipid values. That is from Lancet, year 2000. Also published, the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, 2003. So yung mga cardiologists sa Amerika, iba na ang thinking nila. Kaya dapat sumunod na tayo. Nahuhuli pa tayo. This is the greatest paradox. U.S. Census Bureau report on aging world. Average lifespan of Americans is 77 years, while U.S. doctors are dying at younger age. 50 and 60 age group, average of 57 years, even of the very conditioned heart attack that they are trying to treat. So, ang lifespan ng mga Amerikano 77, but the doctors only 57. They lose 20 years of their lifespan because of cholesterol. Doon ang ating pagkain, may cholesterol ka ito, wala. Next time, pag magluto kayo dito, butter na po ang gamitin niyo, huwag ng cooking oil. Kasi pag cooking oil, para mong pinakuluan ng katawan mo. The Bible says, know them by their fruits. And physicians heal first yourself. Sabi ninyo, kayong mga doktor, bago kayo magdamot, siguro kayo, mas buhay kayo. Eh, nauna pa kayo magkas pasyente. Paano ba? Okay. The American, according to R.P. Copeland, author of the Great Cholesterol Controversy, the American public has been misguided by the federal government and the medical profession in their national campaign against eating cholesterol-laden foods. A campaign that has spilled over to encompass fat consumption in general. Pinagbawal ng cholesterol, pinagbawal ng saturated fat. Since the whole world looks at the USA as a role model, it is no wonder that the whole medical profession and its allies, dietitians, nutritionists, alternative practitioners, followed with hook, line, and sinker. So they followed hook, line, and followed them some. Okay. So the result of cholesterol lowering is catastrophic. Heart disease became number one. In the Philippines, number one. United States, number one. Worldwide, number one. Worldwide, cancer is number two. United States, cancer is number two. All unheard of long time ago. Stroke, number two in the Philippines, and cancer, number two in the Philippines. Stroke. So, all of these are caused by cholesterol lowering diet and drugs. The problem, according to the guidelines laid down, was that they were based on studies that are flawed. According to Dr. Hilary Shallow, Food Safety Program Director of the Egg Nutrition Center in Washington, D.C. When I was at the guest speaker at the World Egg Day, kasama ko si Dr. Hilary Shallow in 2000. With research, he said, if you use something that you are not actually testing, in this case, pure crystalline cholesterol in very high dosage, 1.7 milligram per kilocalorie compared to the recommendation for humans, which is only 3 milligram per 20 kilocalories. And those, most humans will never be exposed. So that means, ang binigay, kumbaga, ang rabbit is 20 kilocalories, ang binigay, i-multiply nito. Instead of 3 times 1.7, was given to vegetarian rabbits, you might get different results from what you're actually looking for. Okay, 20 times 1.7, that's very high. Okay? And rabbits are vegetarian, they cannot tolerate cholesterol. They don't eat, no. O, kinakain lang naman na, dahon na naman. No? Okay. The problem, according to Harvard doctor, okay, the root of the confusion is that according to Dr. Walter Willett, Harvard School for Public Health Director, one of the problems is that strong recommendations have often been made on very weak data. The cholesterol lowering recommendation has very, very weak data. It cannot pass. Wala siyang strong data. But, sabi nga, they may have been the best guess at the moment. Eh, hula-hula lang po yun. But, often, the recommendations are repeated so many times that people forgot they were not guesses in the first place and come to think they are hard facts. So, kung ito yung paulit-ulit na sabihin ng nutritionist mo, ng doktor mo, siyempre, papasok sa isang mapasabang cholesterol. Yun pala, wala palang scientific basis. Pinakita na sa lahat ng journal, okay? Okay. Analysis of the relationship between per capita egg consumption data